Howdy guys, welcome to a quick tutorial on how to build my Netherwart Farm in Minecraft. So this is a quick, easy, and survival-friendly build that is quite resource light for what it does. And let me just go ahead and show you how it works first of all. So here is the actual inside of the farm here. You can see there are multiple layers of the same design here. Unfortunately, this side of the farm has recently been harvested, but I can show you the harvest mechanism on one half of the farm. So there's a couple harvesting methods that this farm employs. You can harvest basically half the farm, the entire farm with this button, this half of the farm with this button, or 1/4 of the farm separately via these buttons on the side here. And so, I'll just show you the harvest method. So all we have to do is hit this button right here, and then we wait just a little bit, and we should see a bunch of water start to flow down, which will basically knock the netherwort off of each layer. Just like that. And yeah, basically we run along here and collect it. And so basically the water snakes in between each layer. I can just run up and show you real quick. Yeah, you can see how it sort of snakes in between each layer. See the netherwort's coming down from the above layers. And basically it zigzags here. And that basically makes sure that all the netherwort ends up right down here where we can just run along here and pick it up. So it's quite an easy collection system for this farm. I'll just go ahead and dump off this netherwort here. You see it produces quite a bit. And then we'll just get down here as well. Very nice. Picked up some more. Then some stragglers coming down here at the very end. And then once you're done collecting this netherwort here, once you think pretty much all of the netherwort has made its way down here, then basically what you can do, let me just run along here and collect this last little bit. What you can do is just basically hit this button again, and after a short amount of time the water will recede, and then all you have to do is take your netherwort, butt up against the trapdoors, and then hold down right mouse button and move left and right, and that will basically replant all of your netherwort for you. So it's very simple, very easy to use, and actually has almost no redstone, believe it or not. So let me just go ahead and finish replanting here. And yeah, this water should go away very shortly, but you can see how easy it is to replant here. Very simple and straightforward, and then you just basically keep going with the next few layers. But I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to build this, and there you go. Yeah, water is going away. So I'll go ahead and show you how to build this, and let's go ahead and get on with the tutorial. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and build this here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a 3 block wide by 33 block long area here. And it doesn't necessarily have to be packed ice. It can be regular ice or just normal blocks. Now that our path is laid down, we're going to go ahead and place down our first bit of soul sand. So what we need to do is we're going to come out 4 blocks, place down a soul sand, and then we just need to make a 4 block wide by 15 block long patch of soul sand right here. So with our 4 by 15 patch of soul sand on this side, we want to do the same now with the other side. So just go ahead and place 4 blocks down and 15 blocks long and make that all solid soul sand. So there's our 2 patches of soul sand right there. Now what you want to do is come to what will be the middle of your farm. You're going to count over 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then on the 4th block, this is where you're going to start your next patch of soul sand. So again, you want a 4 by 15 batch of soul sand here, so just draw this soul sand pretty much all the way out to the edge, like so. And then you'll do the same thing on this side, come out 4 more blocks, and then again soul sand all the way over to the edge. Just like that, and then go ahead and fill both of these in. So at this point your farm should look a little bit like a dumbbell from above, and the next step is to go ahead and place down some blocks on the back of the soul sand on one side of your farm. So I'm just going to go ahead and pick the left side here, and we're going to go ahead and place down some glowstone at the back of this patch of soul sand on the left side, and also this patch on the left side. And these don't necessarily have to be glowstone, they can be any block, but I recommend they are light emitting blocks so that you don't have mobs spawning in your farm. Alright, next step is to go ahead and make a ring around each one of these modules here. So we're going to go ahead and place our building block down, which happens to be red stained clay. And again, you can use whatever building block you want here, but just go ahead and make a ring around each module like this. And you're going to want to make that 2 blocks high. So we'll just go around this one, making it 2 blocks high, just like so, right here. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side, just like this, all the way around this module over to this point right here. So at this point, your farm should look a little bit like this, and you're now ready to go ahead and bust out your trapdoors to place these down. So you want to place trapdoors right in front of every soul sand block and open these up. So just go ahead and do that. So I'm just going to run along here, open all these up. It's quite fun to do this in survival, I will say. But there we go, more trapdoors, and open all of them up, just like that. Very nice, and do this for the other two modules down here as well. So with our trapdoors now placed down, we're ready to finish up this first layer. So go ahead and take your building block, build up 2 blocks here, place a button down on the top block, then 2 more blocks on this side, button down on the top block. These buttons will control the sides, so this whole side here, this module and this module, and this button will control the other two, this one and this one. So keep that in mind. Then I'm going to go ahead and break this, place a special block down here, and place a button right there, because that will harvest the entire farm. So all 4 modules you see around us. And then that's the first layer pretty much complete. Now to make this farm a multi-layer farm, you're going to want to go ahead and build up another layer around here like this. So just go ahead and do that right now. Build up a whole nother layer around your outside bit. So you should now have a wall that is 3 blocks tall right here, and now we're ready to start to build the next layers. So go ahead and basically extend out your pathway here. I'm going to extend mine out a few blocks here. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th one we're going to go ahead and put our side of our farm right here with our ladder. So let's just go ahead and do that with a ladder right there. Very good. And then we're going to take some oak planks, which will be the floor of the next layer, and we're going to make a 2 wide pathway. And it's sort of important that it be 2 wide, and you'll see why if you build it incorrectly. But you want to have, let's just say if we're looking at our ladder here we just built, start that on the left side. So start the 2 wide pattern on the left side, and then just bring it all the way down like so. Okay, so your configuration now should look like this, and at this point when you start to place down the soul sand for the second layer, you'll see why we needed just the 2 wide walkway on the second layer instead of like a 3 wide walkway. And the reason is this: it's because you actually now place down 4 soul sand right here on this side, and then 4 soul sand on this side. And so this ensures basically that you have the maximum amount of soul sand available for the space you have. So we're just going to go ahead and place down a 4x15 bunch of soul sand on this side right here. Just like so, placing all the soul sand down. So you do need quite a bit of soul sand. And then do the same thing on this side right here. And then we'll do the same thing on the other 2 modules. So just 4x15 and 4x15 on that one. So at this point your farm should look a little bit like this, and you should have a 1 block gap behind each soul sand on each sort of module here. So we have 1 block gap right here, and that's where your water is going to flow down. So make sure you have that on each layer. Now you can just go through and clean up a few things. So just go ahead and place down some of your floor right here. I'd also come back here and probably just cap this off on the back here, so you have like a back wall to your farm, just like that. And then let's see, I think next step is to go ahead and just bring up your wall here. So we're just going to bring this up 3 blocks. So I'm actually going to go ahead and fill in a wall block right here. Come up 1, 2, 3, and I'll do that all the way around on this layer. So now we have our walls up, built up 3 blocks high, and we're going to go ahead and place down trapdoors in front of the soul sand once again. So just place down your trapdoors on this side right here, and also on the side right there to prevent any water from leaking out. Open them all up, and then do the same thing on the opposite side, just like this. And that's going to sort of hold back your water and make sure that your netherwort will flow properly. So do that on these modules, and then these 2 modules right over here. Alright, we have our walls built up here, and now it's time for the next layer. So I'm going to come over to the ladder here again, and we're just going to build this up 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, bring it up, just like that. And we'll have our 2 wide path in the exact same spot here. So we're just going to go ahead and build it up just like this, and all the way down. So now that we have our 2 block layer down, we're going to go ahead and make a little bit of a change here with our soul sand pattern. So instead of placing 4 blocks of soul sand down, we're just going to place 3. And so we're going to come in 1 block from our path here, place down 3 soul sand, and then an extra block at the end here. And we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're going to skip a block, 3 soul sand and then an extra block right on the end here, and then just draw all these down, and you want to do this for all 4 modules. And once again, the next step is to go ahead and place down trapdoors. You're going to place these on the oak wood blocks in front of the soul sand. And be sure to make sure this 1 block gap stays in place, because you'll need that for the water to flow down. Then do the same thing on the opposite side. Next step, go ahead and fill in a couple blocks here and place down trapdoors where you need them. So just there and there. And then go ahead and build up this wall once again, 3 blocks high for your next layer. So we now have our 3rd layer complete. Now it's time for the 4th layer. So our 4th layer, again, we're just going to have this sort of pattern with the 2 block wide platform that we're going to walk down. Again, we're going to have the trapdoors on the sides like so. And then from here on out, it's just going to be sort of a repeating pattern. So we had 3 blocks of soul sand on the 3rd layer. And on the 4th layer, once we build up the walls here to 3 blocks tall like this, and same thing on this side and for all the walls here, just like that, and like this, we're actually going to have back to 4 blocks of soul sand here, because we can only reach 4 blocks, maximum 4 blocks. And you see down here we had this gap, so we couldn't reach this block over here to plant any soul sand. But then, yeah, on this 4th layer, you just have a 4x15 block of soul sand like so. And, of course, build up the walls and everything just like normal. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be right back. So here is the 4th layer of your farm here with the 4 blocks of soul sand. And from this point on, it becomes a repeating pattern of the 3rd and 4th layers. So we just had the 4th layer here. So for the 5th layer, we're just going to have a repeat of the 3rd layer, which is the 3 soul sand blocks and your extra block on the end here. So that's just going to be something like this with your extra block on the end. And of course these will all be drawn out like so. There'll be a gap here, and then your blocks for the layer you stand on is going to be right here. And of course don't forget your trapdoors all along here. Open all those up. Same thing on this side, and open all those up, and of course build up your wall. And then just repeat the next layer, which will be the 4th layer, a copy of the 4th layer with the 4 blocks, and then the 3 blocks, and the 4 blocks, so on and so forth. Think you get the point. Just keep on repeating that, and you want to actually end on a 3 block soul sand layer. So you want to end on an odd number of layers. And the reason for that is because otherwise you block your access to the soul sand on the topmost layer. So be sure to end on an odd number of layers. So regardless of how many layers you went up, by the way, I just went up 5 layers, so I just went up 1 more layer here. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 layers right there. But you're going to end up with something like this. And what you want to do now is on these blocks over here, you want to basically place down dispensers facing upward. So go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and break this block right here. Actually, I'm going to break all these blocks down this line. And we're going to place a dispenser facing upward 1 block above where our Netherwart block is and diagonal from it. So coming down this way, 1 block diagonal is right here. Come up 1 more block. Going to place a dispenser facing downward right there. And we're going to place 15 dispensers facing downward all along here. Just like this. And so this is basically where we're going to put our water buckets. And there we go. Perfect. Now we'll just break this and then put this back. So let's just see if we have our blocks once again. So we'll go ahead and place our blocks back down here. And then we'll get out our water bucket. So we need 15 water buckets, 1 for each dispenser here. I'll just pick this up right here. And we're going to plop a water bucket into each and every one of these dispensers right here. So there we go. We'll just fill this in like so. All the way down the line. Till all these are filled up. And then once all these are filled up, you have to do the same thing with every other module here. Alright, so your top layer should look like this now, and we're ready to go ahead and wire these dispensers up. So you might have noticed we left a little bit of a gap in here when we were building this, and that was intentional because we're going to put our redstone right in these gaps. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 3 block gap, but the 4 block gap is just the exact same thing. So we're going to come down here, we're going to go ahead and break into the wall here. And basically what we need to do is wire up this button. So I'm going to take a stone brick right here, place it down, and this dust will be directly behind this block, which is where our button is. Come over another block down right there with dust on it, And then from here, we're just going to go block, torch, block, torch, block, torch, all the way up. So just keep on placing down a block and a torch until you get to the top. And so the top of mine is actually right here. And on the very top, you're going to go ahead and place down a dust. Now, we're going to go ahead and break these 2 blocks here. We're going to place down repeaters on this side and this side. And then we need 15 dust across all 15 of our repeaters, or of our dispensers right here. So 15 blocks of redstone right there, 15 blocks of redstone here, straight across the tops of the dispensers. And this will ensure that they all activate at the same time. And that's it for this side, basically. So we can come on down here now and test it out. So we'll go ahead and just put back our wall like this and like that. Hit this button. And we heard it dispense, although I did not hear it dispense on this side, I don't think. Maybe it did. We're about to see here. Oh yeah, it did. Nice. So there we go. Yeah, this whole side is now wired up, and now you just do the exact same thing on this other side. Alright, so there we go. As you can see, exact same thing on both sides, which is the dust and the repeaters, and the dust on top of the dispensers. So now, all we have to do is just go ahead and wire this thing up for both sides. And to do that, we're going to go ahead and break this dust just so it doesn't accidentally activate while we're doing this. And we'll go down to our master button, which for me is the quartz button right here. We can go ahead and break in down here. And on a block directly below the block our button is on, place dust so that it lights up whenever you hit the button. Then we just need to hook this up with our torch tower, which in this case is right here. So we're just going to make an extension of the torch tower here. We'll bring our dust right down here, and we'll just go torch, torch, and that is it for this side. That side is now hooked up to the main button. Same thing on this side. Bring our redstone line down here. Our torch tower is right here, so we'll just come down like so. Torch here, torch there, and we're done. So that's pretty much it. Now we just have to go back up to the top. Remember to place down our redstone dust here and there. And now, if we make our way all the way to the bottom here, so we'll just come on down this way, come along here, patch this up right there, hit this button. We should see now all 4 sides activate, just like this. So it takes a little bit of time for the water to come down, but there we go. You can see all 4 sides have now water on them, and then I hit this button again, and that will pick up the water from all 4 sides. And there we go. So now all that's left to do is to go ahead and plant down your netherwort, and the way to do this is you just basically butt up against the trap doors as far as you can. Look at the farthest block out from you that doesn't have netherwort. Hold down your right mouse button and then just move right and left. So very, very quick replanting. And yeah, you can hit pretty much every single block in the farm with this, including the block close to you. You do have to sort of line this close one up though, just like so. But that's how you replant it. And I do have a couple of other tips for you. You can subdivide this even further. So we have it split up into halves and the whole right now, but you can also split this up into fourths just by doing something like this. So I have a button here that will harvest 1/4 of the farm, and it's just done like this. So you just have a torch tower up again, and then once you get to the top, you just have a torch that is off, and then a repeater that will only activate these 15 dispensers here. So this will only harvest this quarter of the farm. And you can actually do that for all four quadrants if you want to, all 4 modules. So that is one quick tip there. You also might notice that after the first layer, you have some extra space here. So you can actually get rid of these walls here if you wanted to. And what I actually did, at least on Hermitcraft, I actually sort of replaced these like this. And then just basically moved this back a little bit. Like so, replace this, replaced all this, replace this, and then put down trapdoors here and here, and then I just basically put a ladder going up and down right here. So you could do that if you wanted to do that, or something of the effect, but you have a lot of extra space here to play around with. So yeah, you can sort of do with that what you want. So yeah, there's a lot of different options with this farm. I also added a couple things, which I'll show you now. So here we are now on Hermitcraft, and this just gives you sort of an idea of what it looks like once you've fully completed the farm. You can see the ladder I was just talking about right here. It helps you go up and down between the layers. And I also added some other stuff because you have a lot of extra space here on the sides that you can utilize or not. I also added another ladder on both sides, so there's a ladder going up and down on both sides, and we have a quick drop right here. So that's kind of a useful thing to have. But anyways, guys, yeah, as far as design aspect goes, you have pretty much unlimited creativity on that, and that's a thunderstorm, so I gotta get going. But anyways, guys, this is gonna be all for me today. Hopefully this helps you guys out with Netherwart production and Netherwart block production. But thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Cub. Goodbye.